Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the JGR Podcast. As always, my name is Jose. I will be your host. I'm coming to you live here in a video format to bring you kind of a shorter episode, but I want to do these more in person and to have like a guest on and interview them and all that jazz. But just this one's going to be just, how to lose weight, how to be less fat. It's the same thing. I always say, if you want to get motivated to work out, the winter is coming for you fucks. So the quicker you want to get ahead of it, the better, your gains are going to be, or your waistline, and at this case. But one of the big things that I'm seeing also with people is that, well, not just in seeing it with people, but just kind of experiencing myself and kind of seeing it in the world. Like, people, it is getting harder to eat well, to be healthy and to eat well. Remember, the cards are stacked against you, everything at the store is shit. And not just that, it's hella expensive as it is, so it's like, and a lot of people right now are having a lot of health problems, and that's not something that's, happened for me a lot. I'm hearing a lot of people just having these weird fucking health issues, and whatever that is, you got to get yourself ready and you got to get yourself prepared. And the only way to do that is to make these fucking gains. And the number one way to start is you have to eat protein. You have to just understand that you have to get at least a gram per body weight a day. You have to just shoot for that. 1 gram per body weight per day, minimum. And then you have to try to fast a little bit, if you can. But here's the problem too. Here's the one thing I will tell you, and I'll tell a lot of people, is that most of you don't have a fucking problem with fucking eating. It's your fucking life. It's the way your life is set up, and there's no way around it. And you have to really focus on changing that first, and like figuring out, okay, what do I want, and how much am I going to be willing to invest in that specific thing that I want? So if you feel like you're fat right now, but you have work and then your job, or obviously your job, your work, but you have like school, or you have your wife and your kids, or you have whatever the fuck it is, your hobbies that are taking up a lot of your time. But for most people, what takes up most of their time? Well, it's sleeping. Most people sleep 8 hours a day, and you're doing a shitty job at that, right? If you have to like start there with the idea of like trying to figure out what is messing up your sleep. So if you're going to sleep and you're not waking up rested, then there's something wrong. So let's just start with maybe like hydration, right? Like, are you hydrated throughout the day? Do you have an adequate amount of water and electrolytes in your body? Well, if you do, that's great. Well, we don't worry about that. We move on to the next thing. When you're going to sleep, how long does it take you to get to sleep? Does it take you a long time? Most people are on their phones or on some sort of screen, and you're aware that if you just go on a walk around the neighborhood, you will have better sleep and you will have better metabolism, because you're going to be burning calories, you're going to be moving. Your mind can be clear because you're breathing outside. And, again, focus on your breath work, a long breath in and a long breath out. And that can be, X amount of % better sleep, just doing that, just trying to not do screens and going on a walk before you go to sleep. Take a hot shower before you go to sleep. That'll make you feel good. It'll soothe you and it'll make you go to sleep. Sleep cold, sleep dark, so there's just no light. Just try to, and that should be the main thing. If you want to make these gains, you got to focus on your sleep, because the gym is the easiest thing. I have a bench right here. That's not the problem. It's the idea is that you have to focus on your sleep, and in order to get good sleep, you have to be hydrated. You have to have your mind clear and not have the screens in front of you. And from there, that takes up a lot of your time of sleeping. Then what else do? Well, you go to work, right? So when you go to work, what are you doing at work? Well, if you're not doing anything, you're already set up to like gain weight and to like look like shit. But think about it, to like really look like shit, to be sitting at a desk for 10 hours, imagine the atrophy that you'll have on your glutes and your legs and all that. Well, think about it, where you're gonna start morphing into that fucking fat office, whatever, you know, like whatever the fuck you think. But, you know, you have to think about that and you have to counteract that. And what sucks is that your job's probably stressful as fuck. If you're like some fucking bank guy and you're fucking putting mortgages together all day and you're like fucking numbers and percentages, and or you work at a fucking hospital, like all that shit, it's hard to like focus, you know, on your gains while you're working, because that's your job, that pays your bills. But you almost have to take it just as seriously, right? So if you're sleeping well and then you're working 8 hours, you know, and then the rest of the time you got other responsibilities and your gains, you know, do you really have time for a lot of things? No. And I feel like that's a new thing that's happening right now, is people are starting to realize that you know, if you have a giant group of friends and you're spending time with all of them all the time, you know, it's like either a very highly efficient use of your time person, or you're like, you know, dropping the ball at some end, right? Because if you're sleeping well and working well, and then your physical fitness is top notch and your mental health is top notch, well, that's someone that's operating at a very high level. But it's very hard to get there. It usually starts by eliminating certain foods from your diet, like white sugar, like, you know, soda, like donuts, like panda, like fried things, oily things, cooked in like really bad oil. And you know you feel it. You know you feel like shit after you've eaten certain things. And if it takes you a while to process them and to digest them, you know you're getting fucked somehow. Somehow something's happening to where you ate this food and it's not fucking getting methylated well. It's not being processed well. So you have to understand that, you know, if you feel bad, it's you probably did something bad. There's no, like Joe Rogan said, there's no genetic lottery. You know, there's no like, if you drink 5 beers, you're gonna feel like shit the next day. You know, if you get fucking super high, you're gonna pass out and not be productive. You know, if you take a bunch of Adderall, you're gonna be very productive but very fucking anxious. You know, so it's like, what trade-off do you want? And running, you know, 3 miles before you go to work is very difficult to do for most people. But if most people did that, they would have such a high return on that 3 miles, because not only will it make work seem less sucky, but it'll make your gains better, because you're gonna have better cardio. Legs are gonna get bigger because you're running, you know. So like that's kind of the basics of like trying to be in shape, you know. Like you don't really need that much, and a lot of like the bro life is set up to so you spin your fucking wheels, just eating like a fucking pig, and then just, you know, thinking going to the gym, doing more weights, and then just kind of being lazy, looking at it like a lifestyle instead of like it is a fucking discipline. You know, this game of the gains is not a fucking game, really. I know it sounds insane, but it's something that you should take very seriously. It's your gains, it's your muscles, it's your fitness, it's these abs. You know, if I was super fat, I used to be like fucking almost 300 pounds, and, you know, I got all the way down to like 180, 175, like super lean, and then I gained it back, you know, like, and when you have something and you lose it and you get it back, you're just like, fuck that, dude. Like, it's so hard to get back. It's so hard to get back. It's one of the hardest things, you know, is to get back, like, whatever it was, your gains or your cardio. If you ever done like a marathon and gotten in really good shape for that and then kind of laid off, you know, you see how hard it is to get back in. It's fucking almost impossible. You know, it's almost like you don't even want to do it anymore. But you have to always think, you know, what is more important to me. And, you know, if you watch this channel, if you like it, well, I really hope that, you know, you do enjoy, you know, the gains and all this stuff. And that's why you're here. But focusing on your food is the next thing, right? Because we got the sleep and then we got the job. Well, the job, that's if you work 8 hours, imagine how much prep you have to do to like try to work 8 hours and to not have your gains be fucked up. So that means you have to take your food, you have to take water, and then you have to fight cravings off. So taking food means getting up at night or in the morning and cooking your food and putting it in a thing and taking it to your place and putting it in the fridge. And when it's your lunch, you go eat it. And I know it seems insane to have to walk people through kind of this idea, but to me, this is the best way I've found to get through to people. It's like, no, bud, you have to fucking take the food. You have to cook the food, that's the rice and chicken, it's the fucking beef and broccoli, whatever the fuck you want to do. And you take it with you, you take it to work. So that's the one thing. And then from there, you gotta take water. You gotta take a thing, whatever, but just, you gotta be hydrated, bitch. And then, from there, you have to, fuck that I said, the food, and they have to resist temptation. Whether that is, someone brought donuts or someone wants to go to happy hour because it's someone's last day. You have to just think, how many weeks can you go where you don't succumb to whatever temptation? And obviously, if you're someone that does it on occasion, then that's great. You have no issue. But this is a place for people who have developed a bit of an issue. I feel like that's one of the main reasons that we're here and that they're even still listening, is because they seem to have developed a little bit of an issue either with food management, time management, or fucking soul management. Like your soul's lost. Like you need repair. But that's the big thing, is like, if you have a sucky job, I feel bad for you. I wish that you're not in that position, but your gains can be greatly affected by your job. And if you're a construction guy and you're working outside, it fucking sucks, and it's hard to keep weight on, and it's hard to, keep size on, especially if you're natural and you're trying to, get your gains. Just know that it's hard, and it's very difficult. It is very difficult. It is easier to be a T-Mobile fucking phone salesman and be fucking swole because you're inside, you're in the AC, you're chilling. Salespeople, yeah, it is a better job because you're chilling, And if you're working one of those desk jobs, and I feel for them too. I do feel that feeling of just being stuck in fluorescent lighting, just sitting at a fucking desk, just like wondering when the fuck. Just atrophying, just like fucking, and just eating shit. It's like, woo, like the cake and whatever the fuck, that day is they're celebrating. So it's just, you have to think, you have to fight it. You have to fight the temptation, you have to fight society, and you have to fight the culture. You got to go against the grain if you want to get these gains. So sleep well. When you go to work, be prepared, and your gains require you to feed them protein, chicken, meat, eggs, salmon, bacon, and just know, like, it's easier to mention the bad things than it is to mention them, because there's so many good things. Most things are pretty good. We should say most things are pretty good. It's just the shit. It's just canola oils. And then it's like sprayed shit, like white flour, enriched, bleached bullshit, and a lot of alcohol. That's bad. And nicotine, if you like it, that's great, but it raises your blood pressure, yes or no? Does it give you anxiety, yes or no? Does it make you sharp? I'm sure. Do I crave it? Absolutely. But do I have it now? No. Boy, I miss it though. Anyways. Caffeine. Okay, a word about caffeine too. Like, especially, this is big in like the Gainz community, like people that work out and like to go to the gym, rock stars, monsters. It's a thing that they cater to us. I didn't lose 80 pounds, 100 pounds by just like drinking rock stars and fasting. I really lost it by burning more calories than I eat and not messing up my hormones, which is not drinking, sleeping right, and eating well. Though that's how you lose 100 pounds. And if you want to do both, then this is not the place for you. I am not the channel for you. Do steroids and then get swole and go get fucked up. But if you want to just, make it naturally like a regular person, you have to just accept that it's hard to do it naturally, but it's not impossible. And if you do it naturally, you're going to keep it forever. You're going to keep it forever because you have it. You have the master. It's already there for you. So you have to start by walking, by feeding yourself the right foods. Again, the foods that are bad, we already know it's frozen bullshit, Lego, my ego, fucking just white flour, donuts, just just tortillas. Too many of them too. Like too many of them. It's too much. It's or enriched bullshit and oils. And too much of it too at the wrong times. You know how much you're supposed to eat, you fucking fat fuck. Just what 2,000 calories is. Most people are eating like 3,500 calories. That is the craziest truth. Like most people are eating like 3,500 calories and the fat as fuck. That's why. And and most people are drinking a lot, either their calories, and just that is the biggest thing. The gains, the gym, that is the least of your worries. And you should now think about it. You should also now like come to terms with it. How many people do you know have been working out for fucking years and years and years and nothing changes? So what do you think is the biggest difference? I can tell you that the biggest fucking difference is the food and the lifestyle, right? And by lifestyle, I mean, are you gonna take care of yourself first? And if you're not like the sole person of your household, if you got other people to worry about, it is way harder for you. And I empathize for you. Just like I empathize that the fucking pets that got eaten in Springfield. I feel bad for those cats and those dogs. They're eating the dogs. You have to just try to not let things get to you as far as like stress, because going to happy hour, friends bullshit, work bullshit, all that's gonna, fuck with your goals. If your goal is to be fit and healthy, you have to just focus on that. And if you focus on that, it's gonna take you a lot longer. As far as like, it's gonna take you a lot further for longer, because you're gonna be able to work on the foundation you've had. Which is, if you've never lost weight before, or if you're a little chubby right now, and you want to figure out how can I make the best change for myself right now, it's doing those things that your brain tells you. Like, those voices you have, like, maybe I shouldn't eat this, maybe I should try to cook that, maybe I should stop, or maybe I should go on this walk. It's all there, it's all there. It's not that hard. And even in the gym, what's the gym? Benching, squatting, deadlifting, pressing, fucking stiff-legged deadlift, bent over rows, lat pull downs, tricep extensions. There's like 50 things. There's 50 things. There's always going to be 50 fucking things to do, and just you do them 10 times, so it's like the gym is not the end-all be-all. It's where you have fun. That's where you make your fucking gains and have fun, but it's not where you build them, right? You build them with your lifestyle, with your sleep, with your hydration, and the way you treat your body, with food you put in it. And, and you have to like not let people tell you that not eating is better than eating. No, in your head, the way you stop getting in debt is you stop charging things, right? It's always going to be better. So same thing, if you want to stop being so fat and have this big problem, stop putting things in your mouth. That's the main thing. And that sucks, because people think like, oh, feel bad for them because they're hungry. But being hungry is not that bad, because being sad and depressed and anxious and going to the doctor and getting on fucking therapy and then eventually an antidepressant, like, that's just as bad. You end up just as bad as just being hungry. You're gonna just waste more. It just makes more money, honestly, that to have that other route, when you can just shut your fucking mouth. Just shut your mouth. If you want to lose weight, you shut your mouth. And that should be the main, I'm going to title that of this video. This video is called Shut Your Mouth, and that's how you win. You win by shutting your fucking mouth and trying not to put bullshit in your body. Remember, oils, fucking enriched bleach flour, the best organic meat, organic vegetables, and a shit ton of water. And if you do that, you're on your way. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys appreciated this video, and may the gains be with you.